When Lamar Jackson's number 32 on my list.
We'll see. But what's up, everybody? We are live. This is episode 90 of Burns and Berman, and this is going to be a fun one. I'm really excited for this.
9-0, baby.
Our quarterback rankings. We got 32 quarterbacks, the assumed starters, I would say for the most part.
We went with,
and if the rookies,
yeah.
I think Darnold's going to start. I think Brissett is going to start. Other than that, we
still did the rookies anyway because
we just did the rookies instead. Fun. I don't know why, but I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if Zach Wilson winds up starting over Bo Nix. But
before we get into
this, with the rookies,
before we get into this, schedule for this week, we will be on here on Friday 100%. Josh,
Wednesday is probably no go.
Yeah, Wednesday is probably no go, but we will be on here Friday 100% guaranteed.
Yes.
So make sure to come on Friday. What are we going to do then?
We can do running backs.
Yeah, that works.
I'll tell you right now, my running backs are. There's going to be some controversy in that one, at least from me. I can guarantee you.
For sure.
But top 32 starting quarterbacks in the NFL. We're going to get into it. This is going to be a really fun show. I'm excited. But
yeah. Anything else before we actually start? I got mad at you at Twitter.
So first of all, that was a dry run. I mean, my predictions will change, and
yeah,
nothing about that was official. But I just kind of the Bears were a weird team for me. For those who know, I gave them an 8-9 record on that run through, and I felt kind of weird about it when it happened. I mean, when I did it, because when you look at their schedule, I see a world where they go 11-6. I also see a world though where they go 6-11. I could see it. And so what I did was I just kind of met in the middle, and I just gave them a couple wins that maybe would surprise some people, but then I also gave them a couple losses that might surprise some people to kind of balance it out. And it's but again, no. I am very high on the Colts.
Yeah, Colts are going to be good.
I think they're going to be in the playoffs.
They will be good. All right, I'm actually ready to get into this. I'm ready to roll right away.
Do you want to do the first three, me, and the first three from you?
Well, we're going to start at the bottom and build our way up, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. 32, 31, 30.
Sure.
All right. You want to go first or me?
You were talking about how excited you were to hear mine, so I'm really interested to see how this goes. The worst starting quarterback in the NFL for me at number 32 is Bo Nix.
Same here.
I threw Bo Nix there. I just don't see much out of Denver. I think they're kind of a shit show in general. And then at 31, Daniel Jones.
Okay.
I have been such a hater on Daniel Jones for so long, but it's deserved. The Giants had their one good year where they made the playoffs. They beat Minnesota in Minnesota, impressive win. And I'm just like, dude, this team is not all that.
Yep.
They are not all that. And Daniel Jones really proved it that they were not all that. And then at number 30, JJ McCarthy, quarterback of the Minnesota Vikings. I don't see JJ being much in the NFL, and especially this season, because as we know, Darnold will probably start. I'd give it the first 4 or 5 games, and then JJ comes in. Or who knows? Maybe Darnold's out there playing well, and then JJ just sits on the sideline. But, yeah, that's my bottom 3. What about you,
Hey,
Josh?
Burns. We have the exact same bottom 3.
Really? Yeah.
32, 31, and 30. Exactly the same.
Really?
Yep.
Guys,
Nix,
I cheated off
Daniel Jones, McCarthy. We are in agreement. Fully.
Okay. That's almost
we'll disagree at some point, but for starters, I agree. Those are your bottom 3.
Well, now we have to test it. So we have to say our 29th at the same time. Okay. Right when the clock hits 4 minutes and 40 seconds, say it, okay?
4:40? Okay.
Yeah.
So in 3 seconds, we will tell you. Number 29, our number 29 quarterback. Ready?
Bryce Young.
Gardner Minshew. Who you got?
Damn it. Oh. Huh?
Who'd you have?
Bryce Young.
Bryce Young. Okay. I don't hate that.
I had Bryce Young at 29. He's got a lot to fucking prove this year.
I agree, but I do have him higher.
Yeah, and then my 28. is Gardner Minshew.
Okay.
So we're not too far off. Who's your 28?
Well, first I'll say Minshew. I mean, he's just kind of the epitome of bad starter, good backup. And hey, I mean, I'm it's a quarterback competition over there. Aiden O'Connell very well could be the starter over there as well, which won't change anything. But
Yeah.
he
might, if it's Aiden
over there.
O'Connell, he might drop one more spot on mine, but that's really about it.
All right. My number 28, I got Will Levis.
Ooh.
I'm not a fan of his. I never really was. He showed some flashes at times. You can argue if we're talking about just how they played, you can argue he was the second best rookie quarterback last year behind Stroud, obviously. But
okay.
To me, I don't see much of a ceiling. I think Richardson and Young both have a much, much higher ceiling than Levis. I talked about it in the dry run that I had yesterday with my quarterback, with my record predictions. I am very low in Tennessee. I gave Tennessee, I think I gave him 4 wins. And Tennessee to me is very similar to when I said about Washington last year, where no one thought Washington was going to be good. But I feel like most people gave Washington like 7 wins or 6 wins. Yeah. And I came out and gave them, I think I gave them 3 wins. I think I nailed it. And it was just like, listen, I'm not trying to say you guys think they're good, but they're worse than you think. And I feel like Tennessee is that. Where
I don't blame
you. They
did
a lot this offseason. I don't know how much of it I liked. And the stuff I did like, how much better did it really make you?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay, I'm with that. My number.
That said, this is a quarterback ranking, not a power ranking show.
Yeah, you'll see when Will Levis comes up. But number 27 for me on my list is Jaden Daniels.
Okay.
Jaden Daniels, I think he's going to have a shaky start, but he'll settle in by either the end of the year or the very beginning of next season. But this year, I really don't see him doing that much.
Okay. I got Geno.
Oh, wow. You have him low.
Yeah. I mean, another guy where listen, he proved himself 2 years ago in terms of being a starter. But even at the end of that year, he fell off. And last year, it was just like best case scenario, Geno Smith is an average quarterback in the NFL. Geno Smith is absolute best is number 17 or 18 on this list.
Okay.
When I look at the guys ahead of him, and even a guy like Will Levis, when they're at their best, they can be a lot higher than that. To me, peak Geno Smith, you're still putting him in number 17, number 18. Like that's
30 to 32. We both agreed on all 3 of them. It was Bo Nix at 32, then 31 Daniel Jones, and 30 JJ McCarthy.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was kind of my reasoning with Geno. I will throw in. I would not be surprised if we see Sam Howell play some games this year, whether just for any reason. But
all right, 26 for me is Derek Carr. I don't see. I got
him not much up. I got him a little higher than that.
I love Derek Carr. But it's just disappointing, man. I'm disappointed. I was big on the Saints last year. Didn't I pick them almost every single week to win?
Yep.
And they just let me down. Well, they were exactly what they were on paper. I thought that they would be better.
They were what I told you they were going to be, the epitome of mid.
Yeah, but I thought they were going to be a little bit better than that, and they weren't. So just in general with his play, I'm putting Carr at 26. What about you?
Don't hate it at all. I have him a little bit higher, but I don't hate that at all. Okay. At all. Number 26 for me, I got Drake May.
Nice.
I'm going to be honest. I don't think we're going to see that much of him this year, which I don't think is a bad thing. I mean, the guy's really young. He's unproven. This is where I have him right now. I think with a year of development, he's higher. I think this time next year, he's higher on this list. But if we're talking about in 2024, how good they are, Drake May might even be a little high. Just because, like, what I'm expecting off the bat right now, if he's a week 1 starter, is not much, especially with what he has around him.
Yeah, by the way,
but I still like him.
Yeah. At least my rankings right now, I think that you're in the same boat. This isn't how I think these quarterbacks are performing this year. These are, if I had these 32 quarterbacks standing in a room in front of me right now in this certain moment where I line them up.
Okay. Exactly.
All right, good. Because that would be a completely different list. So we're talking about where they should be at the end of next season, which that's a future episode idea, 100%.
Right. And something like that, Drake May's higher on this list.
Yeah.
But for
All right.
now, he's not.
Well, here's the thing. We just did 26, and you just talked about my guy for 25, Drake May. Drake May, 25th overall. I've seen a lot of Drake May love, and I think they really is going to be something in the league. It's just I don't know if he's going to get a lot of playing time, as you said. You really went into it super depth with him, so I'll just run with that. 25 Drake May.
All right, my 25, right above him, Jaden Daniels.
Okay, not bad.
I think he's a little more pro ready.
Yeah.
I can tell you right now that this is not going to be the case for me. But I am a fan of Dak. But no,
I love Dak Prescott.
But Daniels, I think he's more pro ready. I think that he's just got a little bit more where he's ready to go this year. He also has a guy like Terry McLaurin to throw to immediately. That's a huge bonus. And he has all that going for him. He got the running ability. To be fair, Drake May can run too. It's just I feel like Jaden Daniels is just that much better, and I think he's more pro ready. So just have him one spot ahead.
For sure. All right, my 24. The team that you've said multiple times already that you don't like. Number 24, Will Levis. Okay. I think that Will Levis, 24 isn't a very high ranking at all, but I think that he's a little bit better than people say he is. He had some moments where he shined last year, but he also had a few where he was just fucking horrible. So this year is where you really get to see who Will Levis is and how he adjusts to the NFL. And I think that going at the end of the season, that I'm going to have him higher than 24. I think that I might have him in that top 18. Honestly, yeah. I think they should be that good.
That's fair. At number 24 is where I have Derek Carr.
Okay, that's big of a difference.
Yeah, his quality of play is down there. And again, we're talking about where we're doing this time next year. These guys are going to be going down. We're talking about some guys that will be higher this time next year. Derek Carr is a guy that I still think he's good enough where he's a little better than some guys out there. Like, I think he can be a okay starting quarterback, but I don't think he's going to be much better than that.
Yeah.
But I think right now I can take him over the young guys that I kind of just named before that. He's proven a little more. He wasn't awful last year. He was also very banged up over the course of the entire season. I do want to keep that in mind. But all of that being said, he can't be any higher than this because he hasn't been that great.
100%. What number are we on again? 23, right?
But before we do that, let's run through, because we have the bottom 8 done. Run through yours first, and I'll run through mine.
32, Bo Nix. 31, Daniel Jones. At 30, J.J. McCarthy. At 29, Bryce Young. At 28, Gardner Minshew. At 27, Jaden Daniels. At 26, Derek Carr. At 25, Drake May. And at 24, Will Levis.
Wait, what was Derek Carr and Jaden Daniels? Was Jaden Daniels 27?
Jaden Daniels at 27, yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right, for me, I got 32, Bo Nix, 31, Daniel Jones, 30, J.J. McCarthy, 29, Gardner Minshew, 28, Will Levis, 27, Geno, 26, Drake May, 25, Jaden Daniels, 24, Derek Carr.
And leading off at number 23 for me is Anthony Richardson. We didn't get to see a lot out of AR last year. I hope to see a hell of a lot more out of him this year because he was something special when he did play. This kid, I said it from the beginning when he was getting drafted, he is either going to come into the league and look like a complete natural and ball out, or he is going to be the worst quarterback ever because that's just how he was at Florida. He was either unbelievable or he sucked. And right when he came into the league last year, what did we see? He was great. He was great. He went in there. He looked calm. He did his job. It's just that he got hurt, which sucks so much. So I think that he's going to I think that he's going to come in here this year, and he's going to be a hell of a lot higher than 23 at the end of the season. As long, knock on wood, that he stays healthy.
Me too. And that's why I have him ahead, one spot ahead of where you do, and I got Bryce Young here.
Oh, yeah, Bryce Young pretty high.
I still like him, and he showed flashes last year. He was in a situation, the man was set up to fail horribly. And listen, this is, you can argue this is maybe a little bit more of a projection ranking than a what I've seen ranking,
Yeah.
but at times I think he looked pretty good, and I do think he just has it in him. He just needs. I mean, his offensive line was awful last year. The Carolina Panthers have more cap space dedicated to the offensive line than any team in the NFL going into next season. So they have addressed that. We don't necessarily know if it's going to work or not, but in terms of addressing it, they literally are spending more money on offensive line than any team in the NFL next season. So they've addressed it. At wide receiver, it's still not great, but they've addressed it. Xavier Legette, they've brought him in. Deontay Johnson, they've brought him in, and they still have Adam Thielen. So it's not great, but it's better. And it's I expect to see a leap. Now, if he plays the way he played last year, not only is this too high, he's going to be near 32.
Not bad.
But
all right, my number
now,
22.
I expect a lot out of him. And here, I'll talk about Richardson real quick because as I mentioned, he's one spot above him. I got him at 22. Where, it's just I want to put him higher.
Yeah, I do too. But I just didn't. We didn't see enough of him. That's the problem. That's the only problem is that we didn't see enough of him.
We saw a little more of him.
Man,
he's going up. I like him a lot.
Yeah, 100%. My 22. My 22 is Geno Smith. Wow. You had Geno pretty low. I think it was 29. You had Geno?
27.
27 you had Geno. I think that Geno, I think that he's going to be fine. He'll bring to the table exactly what you expect out of Geno Smith. And I think that that's being a quarterback anywhere from 25 to 20 on this list. And he'll get you a couple wins. That Seahawks defense is going to have to step up, get some more wins for him. But they'll be competitive. They'll be competitive in most games. And a lot of that is going to be that Seahawks offense, which their offense has been pretty damn good. The only thing that kind of sucks for the Seahawks offense is losing Shane Waldron this offseason. And it's going to be a big adjustment to see what happens there.
We'll see. I know a lot of Seahawks fans didn't like Shane Waldron very much. So we'll see.
But also nobody likes their offensive coordinator.
It's very true. Very, very true.
Yep. All right. Who's your 21?
We'll get into this in the running back rankings, but I think he's a little overrated. Not a lot, but a little.
Yeah.
K9. All right. Moving on to you're up again. Let's let you kick off here 21 because as I said, I got Richardson at 22.
It's the time.
Ooh,
you know what name I'm going to
do we agree?
K-Dub, Caleb Williams.
Oh, no, 21. We don't agree.
Wait, what? So you have him higher than me?
Yeah.
Okay, where do you have Caleb Williams?
There's your first surprise of the episode. I got Caleb Williams higher than Burns.
Yeah. People call me biased all the time.
Actually, I got him a little, not like way higher, but I got him a little bit higher. Like,
how many? 3 spots?
I'm not going to tell you, but yeah, like 3, 4.
All right, who's your 21? That's all I have to say. This is before the season, but I will say this. I fully expect Caleb Williams to be anywhere from 14 to 10 at the end of the season.
I do too. And that's why I have him higher than you do, because I'm fully expecting it. Even if the Bears
I thought like 21 was good is because number one, I didn't want to piss too many people off. And number two, I think that a lot of people are doubting him right now and that he's going to go out there and it will be the shock factor that brings him all the way from the bottom to the top.
Okay.
That'll be one of the
I like him, and we're going to talk about it again in a little while when I get to him, but as much as I do like him, I think he's going to be good regardless of how he plays this year. I do see a scenario because of his play style and how aggressive he is that he comes out and has a terrible rookie year. I won't rule it out. I think he's going to pan out. I think he's going to be really, really, really good. And that's why I have him higher than you do. But I will not be surprised at all if his rookie year is not good, just because of his play style. But the reason why I kind of like, do we agree here? Because that was the way you were saying it, is I thought you were going to say Deshaun Watson at 21. That's where I have him. And I think by far, actually, the next few, this to me, this tier, 21 until we get to like 17, 16, these next 6 for me are really hard for me to rank. because they're all kind of in this tier of like, I just don't know. I don't know what to expect out of you. Whether it's you're too young, you're too old, you've been inconsistent, or like it's really those three. Either inconsistent, too young, too old, or you're Deshaun Watson. That's kind of the way I describe my next 6 in a row. But I got Watson at 21. The guy was a top 3 quarterback in the NFL at his peak. He wasn't just good, he was elite. He was unbelievably good.
Yeah.
But since he's gotten to Cleveland, I am talking strictly on the field right now. I mean, he just hasn't produced. He hasn't. And listen, like everyone's going to talk about Watson the way that Watson Wealth should be talked about, frankly. But this is a show about the quarterback rankings and just frankly how good they are.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what to expect out of him right now. And it's just like, yeah. Everyone's been saying, yeah, well, when we see it, we'll see it. But it's been 2 years. We haven't seen it.
I'm sorry. I've been dealing with something on my phone. What number are we on again? Sorry.
That was 21. I got Deshaun Watson.
Okay. At number 20, starting it off, I got Russell Wilson.
We are in agreement.
I was so weird with where to put him on this
That's
list.
where I got Russ as well, 20.
Yeah, it felt really weird to put him somewhere on this list. I didn't really know where to fit him in because also Justin might get some snaps too at the same time, especially with the Steelers schedule being kind of like a gauntlet, essentially. Like Justin is going to probably get some snaps.
Yeah.
But Russ, let him cook. Not really. So, yeah, that happens. But all right, we agreed to 20. Let's just jump straight to 19.
I mean, as we said, for me, numbers 16 through 21 is just weird.
Yeah.
And
my 19 is Kyler Murray.
Wow.
Yeah. I Kyler all the way up here.
That might be our first disagreement. Just straight, like, I do not agree with that.
Really?
Yeah. I think he's way better than that. Oh. That I think that is our first just pure, like, I disagree with you. I think he is just much better than that.
No, I used to be a big Kyler fan, but not really as much anymore. I think that he'll still be good. Like by the end of the season, I see him maybe jumping up 2 or 3 more spots, but that's really about it.
No, I think first of all, dude's arm strength is ridiculous. He's a great athlete. I heard Scott Hansen say it once on Red Zone, and I've kind of just stole it and used it a million times. Is when you watch a play, he's like a punt returner.
He is.
And just the way he moves is incredible. But he's such a complete quarterback, in my opinion. I really, really like him. And I think with a good supporting cast around him, he's flirting with the top 10. And okay. He's not in my top 10, but I am a fan of Kyler.
Okay.
By the way, I was not, because coming into the draft, I did not like him very much. But he's really impressed me in the league.
At number 18.
Oh, wait, hold on.
Oh, yeah,
I got to do my 19.
Yeah, go ahead.
And this is another really weird one because, I mean, just last season, there were some games last year where this guy looked like a top 10 quarterback in football. There were some other games, though, that weren't great. It's kind of been his whole career. And this is one where I kind of expect people to disagree because I don't really fully agree with this ranking. I think he should be higher. But then I look at the guys above him and it's like, well, no. Like, it's like that. But I don't like him at 19. I think he deserves to be higher. But the 18 guys I just have ahead of him, and that is Baker Mayfield.
Okay.
Where it's just that feels like a bad ranking, but then I look at the guys above him and it's like, well, no.
Yeah.
But I feel like he should be higher than that.
Yeah. My 18 on the list is Deshaun Watson.
Okay.
I don't think Deshaun's really that good. I honestly, like, after you talking me into it a little bit, I want to swap, and I am actually. I'm going to swap him and Kyler.
Okay.
And I'm going to put Kyler at 18 instead. I think that's a lot better call. There we go. But yeah, I just think, dude, the Browns, they could be so fucking good this year. And I hate saying it in front of you, but they could be so fucking good. You just need Deshaun to stay healthy and go back to his old self. Not
no. If he plays the way he played in Houston, that team can go to the Super Bowl.
they should win the Super Bowl. If he plays the way that he plays that he played in Houston, they should win the Super Bowl. There should be no debate.
Straight up.
He was that fucking good, dude.
Yeah. And the roster around him is that good as well. I mean, they got destroyed by injuries last year. Problem is, they're in the best division of football. That's the other thing. I mean, you're playing 3 playoff caliber teams twice each this season, and that's just your divisional games. And your schedule after that, it's not too easy either. But just in your division, you got 3 playoff caliber teams you got to face twice. That's the other thing, which isn't his fault, but yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. 18. Another, just like we talked about, either too young, too old, unproven. This is a too old. 41 years old, coming off a torn Achilles. Aaron Rodgers.
Wow, you got. I disagree with this one a lot too.
This is one where it's just. This is an I'll believe it when I see it ranking. I need to see one game. All I need is one game for him to look like Aaron Rodgers. Skyrockets up my list, and you're back into probably around where you have him. Okay. But until I see it, you're 41 years old, coming off a torn Achilles, and you play for the New York Jets. And it's like, they got all the talent in the world. That team. He's got all the talent in the world. Does he still? Is everything going to click? I don't know. He can. But until I see it, and as I said, I just need to see it one game. If they come out in week 1 and they look great, Rodgers is right near my top 10 again. But until I see it, I'm putting him down here.
Gotcha. All right. 17. For me, I have Trevor Lawrence.
Okay. Don't hate that.
Dude, he should be showing so much more. He should be showing so much more. That's a disappointing ranking to have Trevor Lawrence at 17.
I agree.
It's disappointing. I love Trevor Lawrence. It's just, I don't know what else to say. Like, sure, any other quarterback that we've listed before, 17 for them would be a great ranking, but it's just so disappointing.
Yeah, I agree.
That's really.
I'm going to talk about T-Law in a second because I got him at 16, but at 17 is where I have Caleb Williams.
Wow! Yeah!
And I'll also point out one spot above Aaron Rodgers. But
whoa!
Yeah!
Let's go, Joshua!
I figured you'd like that.
Yeah! You love to see it, dude. You love to see it.
Yeah, and listen, everyone is tempted. It feels weird when you rank a rookie high.
That made my day right there, guys.
It feels weird when you rank a rookie high because you don't know. The guy hasn't played a snap. So putting a rookie on a ranking like this anywhere in the top 20 is going to be like, well, you don't know. And it's true. But there's something about him. Like, I really think he's going to be good. And the thing with CJ Stroud last year, I mean, use him as an example. I'll tell you right now, that man's played 1 year. I will tell you right now, he's either in, or right near my top 5. So if I am someone where if I see it, I'm not going to be like, well, you only played 1 year. If you've played 1 year and that 1 year was elite level football, not only am I going to rank you highly, I'm going to put you near elite conversation. And I think the starting point for Caleb is around middle of the pack, and you either go up from there or down from there. Now, as I said, everything I just said, keep that in mind, because I do think he's going to be good, and I expect him to be good. Mm-hmm. But his play style, if he comes out and has a terrible rookie year, and we do this ranking next year, even if my expectation of him stays the same, these ranking shows, he might be in the mid-20s. Because his play style is so aggressive. And he is raw in a lot of ways. But that upside is special, man. It is.
Yes, Joshua Block. Yeah.
I'm a fan of him. I really am.
Thank you, Josh. All right,
But,
number
yeah.
16 on my list. I have Baker Mayfield, who you had earlier. I disagreed with you having him that low. Baker
I disagree with myself. I just couldn't like put him any higher, but I disagreed with myself, honestly.
Yeah. 16, I have Baker Mayfield. He went out there. He looked insane this year. And I think that he's going to do it again next year. I think that he found his home. He found his home in Tampa Bay. He found where he's supposed to be. He found the group around him, and he's going to keep working there.
I agree. And I always kind of like secretly liked him, and it was just me to get him out of the division.
Baker. I love it. Dude, he's a douche. He's Johnny Manziel without the drugs. That's all he is. He's Johnny Manziel without the drugs.
But it was like, I mean,
like his personality. It's Johnny.
He played for Cleveland though, and it was like, well, and there's still, and as much as I am kind of now rooting for him, he does still have that like, yeah, but you played for Cleveland. I can't fully root for you, but he's a likable guy. I like him. Yeah. But for me, number 16, as you said, disappointing ranking. T-Law, Trevor Lawrence. And I saw a tweet last night where it was like the pure like you can judge whether or not someone watches film or just looks at the box score where you look at Trevor Lawrence. Yep. And I feel like right in the middle of that is kind of where he is, because his stats are like surprisingly bad. It's not just like they're not that good. Like they're pretty bad, honestly, his stats. Mm-hmm. His film is very up and down. Mm-hmm. When he's on, he's good, man. He is the guy that we thought he would be. The problem is he is now entering year 4, and he's making the same rookie mistakes that he made as a rookie. Now, he's gotten better. I mean, his rookie year, people forget how. Now, granted, he had Urban Meyer that year, but his rookie year was terrible. So he's improved, but this is the thing where, I mean, I still think T-Law is my favorite prospect that I've seen, and Caleb is second, but I have them like kind of around that same tier, where if Caleb Williams is just okay entering year 4, all right, but in the back of your head's like, man, he should have been so much better.
Yeah.
Like if Caleb Williams is Trevor Lawrence in 4 years, it's like, okay, but you know, it's. I have a lot of thoughts, all right? I have a lot of thoughts. I do. I have things to say.
Oh, my God. Wow, that was a good one. That was a good one. No, usually the Yappa jokes he'll give me. That was a good one. All right.
Number 15.
Yeah, and I'm talking with Game Boy here again because Jared Goff is my number 15. He barely slipped in. I didn't want him to because people hype him up too much. Like I've seen quarterback rankings where they have him like top 7, Jared Goff after this season, and the people who make those are all Lions fans. But Jared Goff, probably going to get picked off and destroyed in Chicago again, just like last year. There you go, 15.
I will say, before we get to this ranking, tier gap. I didn't mention the last one, but for me, obviously this is a ranking show, not tiers. But if we're putting them in tiers, these next guys up, they're a tier above. So I have a tier separating T-Law and this guy. Yeah. But
mine begins after 13.
Okay. And also between Bryce Young and Anthony Richardson. I'm not Anthony Richardson and Deshaun Watson was also a tier. But number 15 for me is Kirk Cousins. And I'll say here, we have the last tier. This tier for me is number
That's a shot
9 through 15.
That's a shot straight to my heart.
9 through 15 is a tier. So if you want to put Kirk at 9, I don't hate that at all. Okay. But I'm putting him at 15. Just, I look at the guys ahead of him. A little more proven, a little more upside, a little bit younger, -1. It's is a little bit better at this, a little bit better at that. I just wound up putting him there. But again, if you want to tell me that he should be at 9 instead of 15, I'm not going to argue with you. I think these next 6 guys are all in a tier. But for me, I got him at 15.
Okay. Number 14 for me is Tua Tagovailoa.
Same thing. Put him in a tier. Okay.
Tua. Yeah, this guy is all over the fucking board. Any QB rankings article or video you watch, he's all over the fucking board. You either love him or you hate him. And for me, I'm on neither side of the debate. I'm just like,
depends on the week.
Tua's Tua. That's how I really see it. If he didn't have Tyreek Hill and Jaden Waddle in that wide receiver room, he would be a hell of a lot lower on this list because they help him by 10. And it's ridiculous. I don't think that Tua, you're never going to win a Super Bowl with Tua. You're never going to win any AFC championship with Tua. But will he consistently give you a winning season and maybe a win in the playoffs every once in a while? Sure.
Listen,
that's right.
That tier is fine. In this city, in 2012, a quarterback of that level had 4 games where he played like an elite quarterback. And that's all they needed. And we got a Super Bowl. There is a quarterback in this tier who I think has played in this tier his whole career. But in 2021, for 4 games, he got the LA Rams a Super Bowl. He's not the next guy on this list, but I'm kind of in this tier. Yeah, he can play like this, but if 1 year, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but if in 1 year in January, something clicks, that's all he needs.
Yeah. 100%.
All right. For me, by the way, I want to change what I said, not 9. I'm going to say 10 to 15 is a tier.
Okay.
But number 14 for me is where I have Kyler Murray.
Wow.
I'm a fan of his. I think he's a guy that can be much higher on this list as well. I like him a lot. And if things click with Jonathan Gannon and company, I like what they're doing. I think they're going to be this year. This is so degrading to the fan base, but they can be like your fun 7-10 team this year.
Okay. Yeah. I see that a little.
They can go 7-10, 8-9. No one's going to take them seriously, but you're going to have a lot of fun watching them do it.
Yeah.
That to me is kind of where I'm feeling about Arizona. But again, this is a quarterback ranking show, not a team ranking show. Kyler, I think, has the tools to be an MVP caliber quarterback. I really do. And book it with Trent Ray. We haven't got one of those in a while. What's up, guys?
Hey, guys. Hey, everyone. We're ranking our quarterbacks. We're at, what's it called?
14.
14 right now. Yeah. Okay.
After this, because we just got a bunch of people in here. After I finish talking about Kyler, we're going to go through what you've missed so far. But, yeah, for me, Kyler has all the tools to be really, really good. All right, you can start things off here. You can go from 32 up.
What, go 32 all the way down?
Yeah, because we just got a massive chunk of viewers. So.
Yeah, well, all right. 32, Bo Nix. 31, Daniel Jones. 30, J.J. McCarthy. 29, Bryce Young. 28, Gardner Minshew. 27, Jaden Daniels. 26, Derek Carr. 25, Drake May. 24, Will Levis. 23, Anthony Richardson. 22, Geno Smith. 21, best quarterback in the NFL, Caleb Williams. 20, Russell Wilson. 19, Deshaun Watson. 18, Kyler Murray. 17, Trevor Lawrence. 16, Baker Mayfield. 15, Jared Goff. 14, Tua. Yeah.
All right. That is Burns rankings. Here's mine. Bo Nix, 32. Daniel Jones, 31. J.J. McCarthy, 30. Gardner Minshew, 29. Will Levis, 28. Geno Smith, 27. Drake May, 26. Jaden Daniels, 25. Derek Carr, 24. Bryce Young, 23. Anthony Richardson, 22. I got a little bit of a tier gap here, but 21, Deshaun Watson. 20, Russell Wilson. 19, Baker Mayfield. 18, Aaron Rodgers. 17, Trevor Lawrence. 17, Caleb Williams. 16, Trevor Lawrence. I don't think I missed anyone there. Tier gap, 15, Kirk Cousins. 14, Kyler Murray.
All right. And I'll start off with number 13, Jordan Love. That's all I have to say. Josh, who's your 13?
Who did you have 13? Jordan Love?
Yeah, you go ahead.
We are in agreement. Jordan Love, number 13.
Okay. All right. Number 12, I have Matt Stafford.
No analysis?
Matt Stafford I think that I think that Rams team this year, that they could be pretty damn good. I've seen a lot of people not have the Rams make the fucking playoffs
I fell
this
for that
season,
trap last year.
which is crazy to me. Because, dude, I think that Matt Stafford, that he's still got it in him. I think that he's got another 2 years where he goes in there and he does his job. And Stafford's gonna be the guy. And I mean, that wide receiver room is pretty good. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Matt Stafford.
Okay. I don't hate that at all. My number 12, in fact, actually, I forgot, but yeah, we are in agreement again. Matt Stafford, number 12.
Really?
Yeah. And here's the thing. I was low on Stafford for a long time. So, and I was low on him in 2021. So take this with a grain of salt when I was not a huge fan of him when he went on his Super Bowl run.
Yeah.
But personally, I think I was more impressed by him last year than any season he's ever had. Maybe it was just because, like, I just thought he was going to fall off and my expectations were lower and he did what he did. That could be what it is. But I was very impressed by him last year. He's in the perfect spot with McVay and the offense and what they've built around him. But
Yeah.
I think that I think Stafford at 12 is good.
Okay. Yeah. My 11 that I have on here is Aaron Rodgers.
Wow.
I think that Rodgers, dude, you had him so fucking low. Would you have him at either 18 or 19?
18.
18. No, I think that Rodgers is gonna go in there and hopefully not get injured in the first 4 plays like fucking last season. That was ridiculous. But Rodgers, he's got it in him to lead the Jets, which this Jets team is so fucking underrated, dude.
Yep.
It's ridiculous. They are going to be absolute dogs this year. So I think that Aaron Rodgers does his thing. That defense is also going to help him on the other side of the ball a hell of a lot. But I got him at 11.
My whole thing, as I said before, is just you are 41 years old, coming with a torn Achilles. I need to see it one time. One game. If I see it, skyrocket back up around to this range. But until then, I got my doubts. And I think he would hold this Jets team's back. But he'll be better than Zach Wilson. I can guarantee that much. I think we can. I can give him that.
We can both say that. Who's your 11?
As I said, numbers 10 through 15 is a tier. If you want, my number 15 was Kirk Cousins. If you're going to put him at 10, not going to argue with him. But number 11, I got Jared Goff. The guy that's
high. That's really high.
Yeah, but if you want to put him in, where did you put him?
I had him at 15. Oh, right. Yeah. You said you could
10 to 15 tier. Where, I mean, it wasn't the fact that he won in the playoffs. It was the fact that he played really damn well in the playoffs as well. And he's got his weaknesses. He has his limitations where he's a guy that I can't put him much higher than this. But if you want to put it, I'm going to put him near the top of this tier, though. I think he's one of the best of these quarterbacks, which is kind of upper middle of the road. But I think he's one of the better upper of the middle of the road quarterbacks. I think he's proven that. He's taken his team to a Super Bowl. He's taken his team to an NFC Championship game. And he didn't get carried there. He played his role. He did it very well for them. And I mean, I just think he's done a good job, but you can't put him much higher. I absolutely have Brock Purdy in my top 10.
For sure. All right. And number 10 for me is my boy. I fucking love him to death, Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins is such a dog. He is going to ball out in Atlanta, and Minnesota made a mistake getting rid of him instead of trying to contend these next couple years with him. I think that Minnesota just kept him all day. I was preaching it at the beginning of free agency. It was not worth it to get rid of him. They should have re-signed him. Kirk Cousins is going to ball the fuck out, and Atlanta is going to be a powerhouse this year. They are going to kick some ass, and he is going to be leading the pack the whole way there.
I was talking all year about Atlanta, how they need a quarterback and they need a head coach, and this team can win a playoff game next year. They went out and got a quarterback, and they went out and got a head coach, and I'm hesitant to make that prediction now because I felt like they needed to address the defense a lot more than they did, in particular pass rush. And even if Penix pans out, which let's say he does, theoretically, I'm not sure he will, but let's just say in theory that Michael Penix pans out and he is your quarterback with the future in Atlanta. Great. But if we're talking about trying to contend right now, they needed they needed a great pass rusher.
Yeah.
Badly. And they did not get one.
Mm-hmm.
And they've been one of the worst pass rushes in the rushing teams in the NFL for the last few years. I expect them to be that again this year. And that is the problem. But I still like them. I still think they'll probably be a playoff
Who's your
team.
10?
But I'm not as high on them as I want to be. As we said, this is the end of the tier. Top of this tier, Tua Tagovailoa at number 10.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But
we kind of like flip-flop sides in this.
Yeah. But again, I mean, this tier for me, Kirk, Kyler, Love, Stafford, Goff, and Tua. Put them in any order you want, but that's mine.
Okay.
Tua is really good at what he's good at, but like in terms of what they ask him to do, in terms of being that guy who can make these intermediate throws, being a guy who finds the open receiver consistently and is able to thread the needle and be a really accurate quarterback, Tua is among the best in the NFL at that. The problem is that's about it.
Yeah.
Like at those specific skills, he's not just good, he is
I don't agree
with
with
any quarterback in the NFL.
I have him at 14. I don't agree.
The problem is that when you ask him to do things outside of that, he can't at all.
Yeah.
Like not even a little bit. And that's why he can't be any higher.
Yeah. My number 9, hot take, Brock Purdy at 9. I don't have him much higher. I think that I maybe move him up like one spot, but that's really about it because I think that most of his talent comes from the group that he has around him. He definitely has the skills and he is a beast, but you put him on almost any other team that you put that a quarterback has a struggling team. Like if you go and put him in Buffalo right now and trade him for Josh Allen, is he going to do much there with that wide receiver core?
That's why he's not in that tier.
Exactly. Yeah. So I got Brock Purdy at
9. This tier, 7, 8, and 9, all in a tier. I'll tell you, Purdy's in that, but he's not number 9 for me. But I agree, he's in this tier, which is like, we're talking really, really good, but I'm not going to put you in my elite category.
Who's your 9 then?
But my number 9 is Dak Prescott.
Oh, shot to the heart again, dude. Come on,
if you want to put him at 7, put 7, 8, 9, anywhere in there. Not going to argue with you.
Okay.
The other two guys are younger. They've proven it. And it's not the fact that Dak has lost in the playoffs. It is the fact that statistically speaking, he is one of the worst playoff quarterbacks of all time. He's that bad in January. It's not just like he can't get it done. It has been that he has played consistently horrible football in that month. Not bad, awful. So until that changes, he can't be higher. But in the last 2 regular seasons, the guy's been probably top 5 quarterback. But I mean, a guy like Lamar, even though he's had more success in the playoffs than Dak has, for the record, but Lamar's produced more in the playoffs, even though he's been disappointing. Dak has just straight up been terrible. And until that changes, I can't put him higher. But in the regular season, he's playing like a top 5 quarterback damn near every year. I was done anyway.
Okay. My number 8 is Jalen Hurts on my list. I think that Philly's going to be fine this year. They addressed their team pretty well. They had a couple new additions, including Saquon Barkley, which is really nice to see. But I think that Philly's going to be in almost the same place that they were last year. They're going to be fighting with Dallas to win the division, and it's either going to be them or the wild card, and they'll win a round or 2 in the playoffs, and that's about it.
Yeah. I don't mind that at all. Again, 7, 8, 9, all in a tier. And I assume that your number 7 is going to be Dak. Just say that's all the tier. But my number 8 is Brock Purdy.
Okay.
Where I just a little bit ahead of him. He's been very good in the playoffs. He's again, to me, he's a better version of what we said about Tua. Where you're not going to ask him to do much, but everything you ask him to do, he can do at an incredibly high level. Incredibly high level. Mm-hmm. And yeah, is he a system quarterback? Sure. Was he built in a lab to be the perfect quarterback for that system? Yes. And I think that part isn't talked about enough. Where, yes, the guy was built for a system, But I don't think it gets talked about enough when a guy is so perfect for that system, which he is.
Yeah.
Not every quarterback in the NFL can go in and be that good. A lot of quarterbacks can go in and produce in that system, but he was tailor-made to be the guy there. And
For
that, I
sure.
think, is worth mentioning as well.
All right.
But
My number 7 is my boy Dakota Prescott.
Fine.
You just predicted it that he would be my 7, so I don't really have that much to say about him. But Dak, I fucking love you, and you are such a dog. And he's been proving people wrong year after year that Dak's not the problem. He is such a beast. It's unbelievable.
And to me, as I said, 7, 8, 9 is all a tier. I think you probably agree. And those three guys, we have the same three. It's just a completely different order.
Yep.
You had it being Purdy, Hurts, Dak. I got Dak, Purdy, Hurts.
Yep.
But to me, it's these guys are all firmly very good quarterbacks, but none of them are elite. I think the top 6 are the elite of the elite. These guys are superstars. The 7, 8, 9, Hurts, Purdy, and Dak are very good, but they're not superstars.
Yeah.
And that is the difference.
Which, starting that off, I got my 6 ready.
Yep.
CJ Stroud. I got CJ at 6 just because I didn't want to make him jump either of the two guys in front of him yet, because he's not just jumping one. He'd have to jump both of them. But, yeah, I'm putting CJ Stroud at 6. He does his thing.
I think once we get to this point, we're talking all elite quarterbacks, but number 5 and number 6 are just barely outside. Just barely. And number 6 for me is Justin Herbert.
Oh, gotcha.
And I'll tell you, I got Stroud at 5. But I think those two, to me, are superstars. They're great. They're elite. CJ, one more year, then I'll put you in that category because you were incredible. Herbert, wins are not a QB stat, but you got to do a little more. A little more.
For sure. You know? Yeah, my 5 and 4. I'm going to say them together, my 5 and 4, because I have Burrow at 5 and Herbert at 4.
Burrow
because
at 5.
those two are like 2 peas in a pod. Burrow and Herbert. The debate never ends between who's better between Burrow and Herbert. And it's a pretty close competition.
Really? To me, it's Burrow. I hear Burrow and Lamar and Allen. I don't hear Herbert in that conversation.
No, I hear Burrow and Herbert every single year. But yeah, I got Joe Burrow at 5. I got Justin Herbert at 4.
Maybe it's just because I interact with more Bengals fans than you do.
Yeah, I have I'm a very no. This is from completely unbiased perspective. Like no AFC North affiliation, nothing with the Chargers. The debate that I always hear is Burrow and Herbert, and I got Burrow at 5, Herbert at 4. I think that Justin Herbert's just a little bit better. It's not that much. Yeah.
As I said, CJ Stroud at 5, superstar. Give me one more year, and you could be even higher.
Yeah.
But to me, we'll get to number 1. But to me, number 1, assuming we have the same one, is in a class of his own. It's not even close. Like it's him and everyone else. Not even a debate.
And that is Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah. Obviously. And we'll get to him. Yeah. But like he is so obviously the best. It's not close. It's not a discussion.
Yeah.
2, 3, and 4. I don't care your order. Put them in any order you want. Fine. But these, to me, in my opinion, are also clearly 2, 3, and 4. You can order them however you want, but these need to be, in my opinion, the next 3 guys behind Mahomes.
Okay.
And I feel like the way you group those together, I'm grouping these 3 together.
Okay.
I got Burrow at 4, Allen at 3, Lamar at 2. I don't order them anywhere you want. Fine. I'll tell you why I have them where they are. I'm going to give my piece on all 3 of them, and I'll just let you talk after. And you can do however you want to do it.
Guys, take a nap. It's going to be
this is going to be a minute. I'll tell you that right now. This will take a second.
Well, he's just
maybe the best pure pocket passer in the NFL. Period. Incredibly good, franchise-altering quarterback who took his team to a Super Bowl, and he's been amazing for them. He's also missed more games than Lamar has in his career. And I need to see more from him in terms of staying healthy, There's some stuff that he just need like a little bit, but he's a franchise quarterback. You're splitting hairs here when you get to them. But number 3, Josh Allen. I mean, the guy's Superman. He's unbelievably good. I think he's one of the most. I think all 3 of the top 3 are about the most naturally gifted quarterbacks the league has ever seen. All 3 of them are in that competition. Mahomes, I think, is the best. But what Josh Allen can do, there are very few quarterbacks in the history of the league that can do what he can do, and he's unbelievable. My only question is, can you be Superman without Stephon Diggs? Can you do it without that? And I know that Lamar can, because Lamar has never had a guy like Stephon Diggs, ever. He's been to the same number of AFC Championship games Josh Allen's been to. Everyone's talking about how Lamar is a playoff loser and Allen isn't. They have made the exact same number of conference championship games in their career. It's been very similar playoff result for them. That's that Allen has played better, undeniably. But Lamar Jackson, 2-time MVP. His 2019 season was incredible. That was also 5 years ago. You look what he did last year. I think he played even better. I mean, he's become a complete quarterback. What he's had to do in this system, he's incredible. But to me, those 3 need to be behind Mahomes. But
my ranking,
Lamar, Allen, Burrow.
Yeah, you see, we're close. Because instead of Burrow, I have Herbert, and then at my 3, I have Josh Allen, and at my 2, I have Lamar. So we're somewhere on 2 out of 3 of them. And then number 1, undisputed, Patrick Mahomes.
Anyone who says it isn't Mahomes is trying to generate a hot take.
Yeah.
But
yes, that is
really that simple.
Like, that is our list right there. Here, I'll show you guys. This is
I got mine and yours on a doc.
Oh, you've been writing it down?
Yeah. Here.
Oh, then you share, not me. I didn't know you were doing all that.
Yeah.
Zoom in. I can't really see that much.
Yeah. I have, as you can see,
holy shit, Joshua.
I have this is a running document for me that I keep up all year long.
Wow.
That's why I was ready to do this, because I have rankings ready on all of these.
Wow.
Tackles, guards, centers. Like, I'm telling you, I got everything. But this is where I got, this is my list. This is Burns' list. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I've had a lot of fun with this show. This is
this was a good
stuff
time.
I love to talk about.
This was a good time. We could tell that you like to talk about this stuff.
I do. It's so fun.
We can. Holy guys, you listened to a Yap Fest today. I think that how we're gonna format this. No show this Wednesday.
Correct.
But like, let's say next week, for example, Monday we'll do a ranking. Then Wednesday we'll just talk about shit. Mm-hmm. And then Friday do another ranking. I think that's a pretty good setup.
I like it.
Yeah. Sounds fucking good. But yeah.
I've got these rankings ready to go. Burns has to make them.
Yeah, no, I just make them. But thank you guys so much for listening. We really do appreciate it. Thank you for everybody who came during the raid. We hope to see you back. We're live every day, 2:00 Central Time, 3:00 Eastern Time. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. We'll be back on Friday doing our running back rankings then. Yes. So, yeah. Thank you guys so much for joining. We will see you guys on Friday.
See you guys.
Have a good week, boys.